Yeah, party people, you know what's up? It's DJ Shyne bringing you another edition of Shyne's Shortcuts right here on YouTube. DJ Shyne Online. Check the spelling. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you comment. Make sure you like. Share it with a friend. Let's get it in for 2024. Today's episode, I want to explore Serato Flip. It's an essential plugin that I use on the regular within Serato to help me build custom edits. My audience doesn't always want to hear a full 3 minutes worth of their favorite song. They'd rather me get in and out while preserving the integrity of the track. And with that, I'm using Serato Flip to condense my favorite jams that I'm dropping on the dance floor. Considering that's how I use the plugin most frequently, I wanted to show you how I'm rocking it. Let's dive in. All right, homies, so where to start? If you do not already have Serato Flip downloaded within your Serato DJ software, simply visit serato.com/dj/pro/expansions/flip. Or you know what? Just do a Google search for Serato Flip. Please be aware this is not a free expansion. If you'd like to experiment a bit, you can subscribe monthly at $9.99. Alternatively, you can flat out buy the expansion for $349. As I've already mentioned, so many different things you can do with Flip, from making clean edits, extended intros or outros, create transitions, or remix it entirely. What you're essentially doing is recording a custom version of a track that already exists within your library. Flip allows you to save these customizations for instant recall. With all of that in hand, let's fire up Serato. After you have downloaded the Flip expansion, navigate to the settings wheel and find the expansion packs tab, which will show you all of your available expansion packs. You should see and click Flip and ensure that Flip is enabled. You'll notice a new icon in the top left-hand corner, allowing you to trigger your recording mechanism to create a flip. Serato pros will know I am in the standalone player, but this icon exists even in Serato Play mode, as well as when your controller or DVS system is plugged in, ready to work. Once clicked, you'll see a recording deck appear, and you are that much closer to creating your first flip. Now listen, I'm not trying to upset the copyright law gods that exist here on YouTube. For that reason, we'll be bypassing any audio, but please know that I'll be sharing with you every piece of information my mind runs through when creating my flips. I should add, it doesn't hurt to have some knowledge of music theory, in particular, song phraseology, understanding terms like chorus, verse, bridge, intro, outro, and knowing how many measures comprise a typical chorus, verse. Having some basic knowledge here will go a long way. My first objective is to seek out two identical portions within the same song, whether that be a downbeat, a vocal lead in, the start or end of a chorus. Finding identical sections to jump from and to will result in the cleanest mix. As I scrub through the track, I find at the 2-minute mark the drop. I've carefully placed the playback head just before the first downbeat of this drop. I'll set a cue point. This will represent where we're jumping from. As I get further along in the track, I find another downbeat at the last drop nearly a minute and a half later. You guessed it, another cue point. This cue point represents where we're jumping to. So in order to execute the recording of my flip, I will start at our second cue point, the first downbeat of this first drop. I'll arm the flip recorder. I will disable the loop feature, and I will simply trigger the third cue point where I want the flip to jump to. It's quite literally as easy as that. The last step is saving your flip. You'll notice immediately it is banked and is triggered on. But you can't just leave it at that. You should preview it. Make sure it sounds good to you. I'll simply scrub back to a point in the song before that initial flip cue point and trigger the flip off and on. We hit play, listen, and observe. If you were paying close enough attention, you would have seen that when the playback head reached our orange cue point representing the start of our flip, it immediately jumped to our third cue point, labeled in blue, our exit of the flip. One more time. Notice, as the playback head reaches cue point number 2, it will automatically jump to cue point 3, the out point that we established. Watch the waveform carefully. If you watched the last video all about hot cues, my personal preference is to color code these cue points the same color. And then simply by double clicking the timestamp, I'm able to add a label. You can also label the saved flip in your flip bank, double clicking the timestamp and giving it a proper title. Jumping into Serato play mode, you'll notice you can store up to 6 flips per track. This is simple functionality. Flip is very intuitive and will navigate through your cue point clicks however you see fit. You can jump back, you could jump forward, you could jump in between, whatever is working best for you. Remixing, shortcut creation, let your creativity run wild and smash down those dance floors. Let's go.